Thursday.
Look at the amazing things that we can do!
Yummy. The universe
We should be out there fighting bad guys.
meets Venom.
Bingo.
Venom.
Your costume is amazing!
Thank you.
You see, it pays to do the Thursday early screenings.
Yes. And now that we're in fall, we're not melting this time in the car.
No. It's going to get chillier, that's for certain.
Oh, yes. Hence the reason why I'm wearing a hoodie.
Can't wait for us when we do the December videos. We're just going to be covered in mittens and hats.
Yeah,
It's going to be like snow in the back.
all you'll see is our eyes, and we're like buffled. What? This show sucks. I can't understand them.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was just like The Shining, the camera's just on, and we just froze like Jack Torrance?
Like, if it's a good movie, we're all like... In a bad movie, we're like...
we should do that sometime. Just for Christmas. Just have us like all like painted blue or something like that.
Yeah, that would be funny.
So you haven't seen the first Venom.
No.
This makes it all the more interesting.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I don't think you really did you really need to see the first Venom to understand what was going on?
Yeah, because there were some things that had set up, like stuff with the symbiote Venom, his relationship with his ex-girlfriend and things like that.
Yeah. Which you kind of got the gist of that as someone who didn't see the first movie. I understood that there was going to be stuff like when they showed her and then when she was going on about how things happen, I'm like, oh, okay, this must have been touched upon in the first movie.
I will say, though, this is much better than the first one. Not by a whole lot, but in terms of like comparisons of which two felt a little more better, I would say Let There Be Carnage is easily the better of the two, but it's still got issues.
Yeah, like the motivation for the villains to me was kind of like it was generic and just kind of silly. And I mean, I didn't mind the villains.
For something called Let There Be Carnage, there was not much carnage.
Yeah, that too. It's like I was expecting a much more violent movie. And I mean, it did have violent parts, but the most violent part was really the cartoon sequence.
Oh, when it turns into a reboot of Tim Burton's Vincent,
Yes.
you see Carnage as a little kid doing awful things.
Yeah, because
that was kind of unnerving.
That literally was the only part that was really super violent, and then the violent bits that they showed, they kind of cut away from, so it's implied on what happens, and it's like, wasn't this movie rated R?
No, it was PG-13.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. No, there was a similar issue with the first one, because in the first movie, it really does feel like they were trying to go for an R rating. Not just with this one, but even the previous one, too. Because it did have moments like that, where Venom is eating a whole person or just biting a head off, but you don't see, like, the impact or anything like that. Or he'll just bite the head off of a person like it's a Tootsie Roll pop, and you just don't see, like, the gory bits. It's done away where you're just pretty much popping off the head of a doll in that sense.
Yeah.
It's that level of violent. And something like that is kind of hard to get around because Venom is really a dark character when you think about it, especially Eddie Brock as well. So to tone that down for PG-13, if this is what they were aiming for, then I at least give some applaud to that, but at the same time, I do say it's a little bit of a disservice given how much material they could work with in regards to the character.
Yeah.
I will give some credit where it's due, because they do bring up some things that were mentioned in the first movie, like a little bit of Eddie Brock's past history, like his relationship with his father, which is only like a little brief mention, but at the same time, it feels like it's such a brief mention. Like, oh, we got to put this in there, otherwise the comic enthusiasts are going to get us with this kind of thing. It's like the previous movie where Venom mentions he needs... Oh, no, it's not actually something he needs. There's a scene near the end, spoiler, who cares, it's been out for a few years. They go into a convenience store trying to, find something to snack on, because Venom's hungry and he can't eat people. And so... Eddie's all like, well, Venom, what should we get today? Tater tots and chocolate. Yeah, good choice. And they mention it better in the sequel, which I will give a little bit of a lift for, because the whole idea is that chocolate contains a chemical that's similar to in the brain cells of a person. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's like phylolysa or something like that. But that's pretty much the reason why Eddie's been feeding him chocolate, so he doesn't eat his brain cells and things like that.
So are you saying that if you eat chocolate, you're a cannibal?
Well, we're binging heavy on friendlies tonight.
Oh, yes, we are.
So what do you think about Tom Hardy's performance with him and Venom?
I really liked that. He, it really showcased his acting.
That is the strongest element of not only this
Now,
one, but the previous movie.
Was he playing Carnage as well?
No, that was not Carnage.
Okay.
That was Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
I was thinking for a second, oh, I mean voice-wise.
Yes.
No, that was Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, I thought his acting was really good in this.
Definitely creepy, to say the least.
Yeah, way better performance than how he was in Solo, in my opinion.
Oh, that movie. It took me a split second. Solo. Oh, that's Solo.
Yes.
Of course, different film and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I felt like he did. Like, I'm not saying that movie was his fault. I just felt like in this movie, he had way more of a free
He
reign.
chews the scenery.
Yeah, he did
my goodness.
Yeah, they could have just had the movie be completely about him.
And they should have.
Yeah.
But they don't. Instead, it's like, I'm just breaking out of prison just so I can get back with someone. I'm not going to try and give too much away, but that's essentially the plot. If you think it's just Carnage goes loose in the city and starts destroying things, a little of that is there.
Yeah.
A little. But it's not the focus of the whole thing. It's about relationships and mending broken relationships or getting back together with someone. That is essentially the main focus of this. And okay, all the power to you, but when you call something Let There Be Carnage, and there's not that much mayhem outside of the big action finale, which is a cool sequence, yeah, you might want to talk to the people that named the subtitle for this sequel.
Yeah, it should have been more like
Love and Carnage, that's the way it is. Love and Carnage. That's a better title.
Yes, Love and Carnage. That would have been great.
I would have loved it. Love and Carnage. I'm just expecting the cast of Married with Children to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
The stuff with Venom, him trying to separate from Eddie, I like that a little bit. It got a little bit out there when he was at the rave.
And everyone's like, "Ooh, awesome costumes!" Like, okay, he's like twice the size of everyone there, and you're trying to say it's a costume?
And he has like that big speech moment. It's like, I don't know whether I should find this funny or something else. Because director Andy Serkis, yes, that's who directed, Andy Serkis, motion capture King Kong and Gollum. Actually, not bad a director. He said this was the big Venom coming out moment, and I don't know how to exactly take that, to be honest.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel essentially like... It felt like more of a comedic moment, but it wasn't executed right.
No, and it just...
No.
If they had other people dressed like in elaborate costumes, that scene would have been more believable.
Yeah, like
but when
elaborate or...
When everyone's just wearing like makeup and, again, he's like 7-8 feet tall and they all think it's a costume.
And they're all dressed in like glow sticks and like masks and things like that.
I mean, they did have like some wolf thing.
Well, that was kind of cool. It was like something out of Midsommar.
Yeah, but if they had more of that, that scene would have been more believable. But to me, I'm like, how do these people think that that's a costume?
You know what it should have been?
What?
A Rocky Horror screening. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. He possesses one of the performers, and a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, and then he could have done his
I think he did that big stupid speech after I'm going home or something like that.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Who owns the rights to Rocky Horror now? Fox. Who owns Fox? Disney. It is possible.
And that means that Frankenfurter is a Disney princess.
It has been confirmed. Oh, and over in the UK, they're getting Rocky Horror Disney Plus. I feel bad for all the little kids that's going to be swiping through and seeing that.
Disney better not edit that.
No. It's going to be over in the UK.
I know, but I'm just saying as a whole, you know how Disney is.
Yeah.
Now that it's ours, we're going to edit it.
A mental mind. Brother. Speaking of which, I look over to you. There's a scene where Carnage has one of his tentacles out. And I was going to say something. Okay. a crack. And then I remind myself, oh, wait, there's a young one in the audience. I lean over to you. There's 5 jokes I want to make right now, and there's a kid in the audience. There's a kid! You,
I didn't
you
realize.
almost at the top of your lungs.
I didn't realize that I highly doubt the parents are watching this. Some dingleberry ding dong. I'm going to bring my kids to watch this movie. I don't care if it's rated PG-13. It's called Venom. Let there be carnage. Oh yes, that's a really perfect movie to bring your child to.
If it is of interest, there was one point when I saw the RoboCop reboot, remake, whatever, years ago, and someone actually brought in an infant.
Well, at least the infant's not going to remember. I mean, I guess this movie...
No. Unless they start playing with Tonka trucks and they start having they start having like flashbacks. I remember seeing this before. It reminds me of something. What does it mean?
So I'm just going to say to our viewers, if you have children, for the love of shit, do not bring them to watch this movie unless they're 13 or older.
I mean, if they're maybe 8 or 9, that would kind of be okay. I saw Spawn when I was like maybe 8 or 9. I was okay with that.
It really depends. I don't know. I don't think this is a movie that's suitable for young children.
No, I wouldn't even go there.
Like maybe like 10 or older, but anything under 10, it's like no.
When you look at the films of the past, there are certain sensibilities that are way different compared to today. So even then, I agree.
And even
I would not have anyone younger than 9 or 10 see this.
This movie did have a lot of disturbing imagery and stuff too, so it's not something you bring your little kids to.
It needed that R rating, man. It needed that R rating.
Yeah.
PG-13, my rear.
Yeah, because I thought it was an R-rated movie. Like, I thought it was a tame R-rated movie.
Because I'm looking at you trying to see how you're reacting, and when that kid thing brought up, I'm like, didn't you know this is PG-13? It's like, hell, if the Frighteners can pass with an R, how come this didn't get an R rating?
Yeah. Like, again, it was mild, but it was still something that I mean, I think even frickin' Midsummer was rated R.
Yeah, that deserved it more. Hereditary, that deserved the R rating.
Actually, I think Midsummer, I think the director's cut that we had watched, I think that was a higher rating than R.
Yeah, because they had to trim.
NC-17.
Yeah, because they had to trim some stuff down. I mean,
and I know that the director wants to do like I think he has like a 4-hour cut of that movie.
3 hours is good enough, please. I don't need more.
Well, I'm just curious. It's like, what else did they film?
Speaking of which, it feels like they really cut a lot of stuff out of here. Maybe it's just me. I mean, it's 90 minutes, so it's like a B movie. You get in, get out. It's fine. I'll take this over Jurassic Park 3 any day. But even then, it just felt like that some scenes could have been paced a little better or edited better. Like, near the climax, there's a shot of the church where the whole thing is set at, and then he just immediately cuts to Carnage and the other person, and trying to avoid spoilers here, and like to the left corner you see like this other character there, this priest reverend looking character, and then afterwards it shows like a wide shot of the whole thing. It would make much more sense to just show the entire sequence as a whole unless it was filmed that way.
And then I felt the movie was kind of rushed too.
Yeah, the way it's like so point A, point B.
Yeah.
Like, Venom's solving something early on, and that's really the big snowball that gets everything going, because Eddie's taking the credit, and Venom's bummed out by that, because he wants to do what he feels is right, and things like that. It just feels like a case where it's just, we got to get to here, and here, and here. Oh, we need to figure out what Carnage is doing, so we see a clue, and Eddie calls the police guy that wants all the details about the case and everything like that, and we have to get that information here and that information here. It was like bing, 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 the connect the dots kind of film. It doesn't,
like, the police guy,
it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, like the police guy being so adamant about connecting Eddie to all this stuff. To me, I kind of felt like he was like grasping at straws.
You said he was in The Great Gatsby. You reminded me. I gotta see.
I think he was. I think he played Tom Buchanan.
Stephen Graham. He was in Gangs of New York. Who the heck is Scrum?
Scrum?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Stranger Tides and Dead Men Tell No Tales. So great, we have a movie that has two Pirates of the Caribbean
so
alumni.
he was not he was not in The Great Gatsby then. He looks like him, but I think he's too short to be him.
Year to The Great Gatsby come out 2010.
Who did play Tom Buchanan in The Great Gatsby?
Tom Buchanan. It's one of the greatest mysteries of life we will never... Oh, 2013, that's when it came out. Who did you say the character's name was? Tom
Buchanan.
Joel Edgerton.
All right. I know I've probably seen him in other stuff.
Star Wars Episode 2 and 3.
Oh, that's probably why.
Right. Red Sparrow. That crummy Moses Ridley Scott movie. Oh, he's Australian.
He does look like the guy that was in this movie, too.
He does.
They look
does.
like they could be siblings.
Yeah, the thing they do with his character, though, it just felt like weird build-up.
Yeah, and what the heck was with that in the ending with his character?
I don't know what is
I
he
was
supposed
like,
to turn into,
I
anyway?
don't know, because I was like, what?
I'm sorry if I'm using my phone.
No, it's okay.
I'm not too...
Because that was confusing. I'm like, what just happened?
Let's see here. Well, he's just a character made for the movie. Oh, well. Who knows? It's just, what they do, that was just weird. That was really, really weird.
Yes. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a third movie.
Only one way to find out. Because I know Tom Hardy did the story. And the screenplay was written by the one who wrote the screenplay for 50 Shades of Grey.
Great. Now I can never watch this movie again without thinking of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, hey, they are doing a third one.
Oh, they could have done 50 Shades of Carnage.
50 Shades of Carnage.
Eddie, you've been very bad, Eddie.
Oh, she also co-wrote Saving Mr. Banks, too.
That was a good movie, but I highly doubt that's how it happened in real life.
And she wrote the story for Cruella, so a bit of an up and down collection of a filmography. Cruella wasn't awful, but it had its moments.
That's probably one I'm never going to watch.
Unless I'm... Well, no.
Well, if you want to watch with me, that's fine, but I think...
Just to see your reaction to the insanity that happens.
I saw Amanda the Jedi's video about it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
So they're trying to redeem her. But
No.
Maleficent did it better.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. The sequel, on the other hand, oh my
You can't redeem a dog killer, Disney. No matter how much fluff you put in. She is a psychopath, as crazy as a bat, and she deserves to be locked in prison.
Sorry. We should write a musical someday.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should. So, would you recommend Let There Be Carnage?
I would say yes, just not for children. And I would recommend...
Little side note there. Yes, I would. Kids, don't.
I would recommend watch the first movie first, which
Yeah.
I did intend to, but my body had other plans this morning. Let's put it that way. As in, I was tired.
Your symbiote was getting different ideas.
Yeah, I'm like, I should
Kitty, cuddle.
I should watch a movie. Now go to bed. The cat wants to snuggie. So the cat won.
Aww.
But kitty cats always win because they're cats.
The cat's cute.
Yes, she is.
I mean, what made Sabrina the Teenage Witch the greatest show ever made was of Salem, so
Yes.
I can't argue.
Yeah, oh my god.
We're not proper organization, we're promoting free thinking. That's my favorite Salem quote.
Well, and he was great too because he definitely
Nick
embodied...
Bakay, yeah.
And he definitely embodied an actual cat. I will not be ignored. Knocks something over.
When he's faking to be sick.
Yes.
Brother. For me personally, it's definitely better than the first one. I'd say if you're looking for a straightforward B movie, it's certainly worth it. You'll definitely get your money's worth. It's fun. There is some cool imagery that does make up for it. But if you're a diehard comic book enthusiast that's hoping to be like the actual one that embodies Venom, it's like, this is not it, man.
No.
This is not a perfect embodiment of the character. It's just like the first one, but at least it's written better.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. At least the villain is more interesting, even though the motive does not quite work. I'd say maybe a B or a B minus.
Yeah.
It's better than Jungle Cruise, I'll say that much.
Which is still in theaters.
Why?
Why?
Wait, if I can just move to the marquee
Yeah.
here, because we're
See
dead.
that? Why? And it's in the number one spot. Yeah, number one for being
There we go. There we go. There it is. What are you doing?
You weren't that good!
Hey,
Why do people like it?
it's a double feature with Dear Evan Hansen. That explains so much. Spoiler alert, you weren't missing much with Dear Evan Hansen.
Now again, I saw Man of the Jedi's review of that
Yeah.
too. Although it sounds like
The ending kind of saved it,
Yeah.
but to be fair, it's not the kind of movie I want to sit through.
it sounded like that movie tried to have a better story than the Broadway
They show,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it sounds like at least they tried to have some consequence, but not really.
Dear
But
Evan Hansen, I rub my nipples.
it's not something I would watch.
No,
though.
I would not. Definitely not. West Side Story I'd love to see, though.
Yeah, I'm curious
Definitely
about that one.
Speaking of which, trailers, we got 3.
Yes. First one was
Take the red pill. Or the poster's right over there.
Matrix.
Am I just gonna
Yes.
move this? The poster is just literally right there.
Which I have not seen any of the Matrix films. And that, I've never really shown an interest in those films. Same with my sister. But when we saw the trailer to that, it's like, that actually looks really good.
James is more of a Matrix enthusiast than I am.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-oh, we went dark.
what do you mean we're dark?
No, never mind.
There you
Oh, it was the angle of the lens.
I
We
can-
can see ourselves.
Hey, we're ghosts.
Yeah. We are ghosts.
Wait until Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out. I got a jumpsuit and everything.
And I've been marathoning Phaelus and watching his reviews of the real Ghostbusters. It's like,
Yeah. But no, Matrix Resurrection, I am not a major fan or enthusiast of those movies. But I'll give it this much. The fourth actually doesn't look that bad.
yeah, it looks like it could be really good.
The trailer does look good. I feel it was a case where they need the technology to be up to date to actually make it look good and surreal and interesting. So on that note, I'd say it could be good.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how they got Keanu Reeves and what's her name back, just because of what happened to them in the third movie.
I have not seen those movies.
Did
they die?
Yeah.
Huh. Or did they die? Obviously, they didn't die, because if they died, there wouldn't be another movie.
What makes it weirder is that at the end they hint his resurrection. Will Neo be coming back? Yes, he will. End trilogy. What? The second one actually was quite a surprise. We had a trailer for the Batman.
Yes, it was better than the trailer that I saw with my sister.
Because I didn't see the trailer for this one, because I didn't know there was a new Batman trailer.
Yes.
This is the Robert
Patterson
one. I almost said Patrick for a second there.
Yeah. I like it. It looks like it's going to be kind of like a mix of the original Dark Knight trilogy and maybe a bit of the Tim Burton movies a little bit.
I did see the Penguin in there. I did see Catwoman.
Yes.
I'm not sure if the guy with the duct tape supposed to be Bane. That was a little weird.
And I like that, Batman in this movie looks really young.
And I know they have, I think, Joker. We don't actually see the Joker.
Yeah.
But like his little goons and cronies and stuff like that.
And it's not going to be the Jared Leto Joker.
Jared Leto.
Leto, not Leto, Leto. Sorry, that Joker, no.
I wonder.
No. I mean, if they have it, I don't know if he's going to be connected
Oh,
to...
hey, we're going to have the Riddler in this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, Paul Dano. And that was Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Do they have anyone listed for the Joker?
Alfred is Andy Serkis. That's what I'm trying to find
That's gonna
out.
be
That could be pretty
fascinating.
good. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't think they have a Joker.
Let's see. Only one way to find out there. I'll answer that later. Let's see here. Swain's gonna call. No, I got nothing on Joker. I guess they're saving him for another film. And the last one was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
Which we got again.
Yes.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
It could be. My biggest worry is them doing the the One More Day story, because there's issues with that one. But given that we're going to see some old characters from the franchise, it's got me a little curious.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I already have some theories about Doctor Strange.
He is strange.
I don't know if it's actually Doctor Strange or not, because he didn't seem... to me, it doesn't seem like he would be like, okay, I'm going to change stuff so people don't know who you are. He just seems... It doesn't seem like something he would do, so unless something happened to him that made him kind of go like, hey, fuck it. But we'll see. I'm theorizing that the hinted villain at the end of his first movie is making a return.
Disguised as him?
Yes, that's my theory. So
It'd be a stretch, but I'd be intrigued to see
Yes.
what happens.
So we shall see.
Indeed. Well, I guess that's that.
Yes. What should we see next time?
Wherever the wind may take us.
As long as it doesn't take us back to Jungle Cruise.
We are reviewers.
Yes. And that movie was not good. I just can't believe it's still in theaters.
Why? How many months has it been?
It's been a while. It's like, didn't it come out like in June?
July.
Yeah.
July. Free Guy's still there. It's been there since August.
Yeah.
I think like they're doing a new thing now too, where it's like there's a 45-day window, and then they're putting it to streaming. So
Yeah. And I don't even think Suicide Squad was in theaters that long.
No, it wasn't. It was there for 2 months. And that was it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how long this goes for.
We shall.
Let's go eat something.
Yes.